No need, officer, I'm in a state of nirvana. Got an appointment with the phone booth, turned into a taxi driver. A minor wound in the head that draws stick figures holding dead flowers. And wondering, no wandering, this means the other half is holding a lonesome number. Mumble cryptic tongues, some take a picture of me coming clean at a doormat with no knock, talk to the peephole. I'm not David Berkowitz, tough crack kids who praise God, screaming parallel during the telling of my villainous fortunes. Snake eyes, my dimension isn't working, no surprise. It never did, evaporating liquid. Burn my lips, mainline wet snatch. 144,000 minutes remain of a copy of the last sand trap. I tried to speak but never got my identification back, which the way you turn injectable melancholy burns and I break. Head full of demons. If I said I thought you were tangible imagination, you would yell creep, find a safe haven and preconceived words, and every shit face would taste you before I could. I would be hanging from the stars by then. In question, straight arrows for straight jackets, magnetic polarity addicts of a hopeless mystery. Misery is not knowing whether or not I'm really losing stares. You want me off the ship, I'll dive and survive on a diet of drowning lungs. If you were missing a part of yourself, maybe I stole it. Maybe I am David Berkowitz and I just don't know it. I just don't know it, man. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. That's not professional. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. That's not professional. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. Eagle post on the back, face scraped on the front with monsters in the Salem witch hunt. I tried to burn down walls and fallen from the occult. Sober pedestrian remains the stepchild. Filed with a toe tag in the cauldron. Bragging rights, my nights of blood-soaked hands and damp shirts. You can never wear my sweater because the first one I make will be tied around my neck. And I'm used, sniffing glue. Branded tenants, fist me again. Farmers died of sin, coat hangers and fighting flames. My little suicide, don't scream, it's not over. Perfect days are here to be steered in oblivion by smeared faces. A faceless creation with relations as data. Relatives to the junkie bulls and drunk gremlins. Mention it to your televangelist. The advantages of trying to seduce Christ. Pedophile religion, controlled by a pigeon wearing a mitre. Branded tenants, fisting again. Farmers died of sin, coat hangers and fighting planes. My little suicide reigns. My little suicide reigns. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. That's not professional. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. That's not professional. One problem with death, sometimes he calls before he comes. The last involute, shoot now, prosecute during. Suppose there's no turning this mattress, arsonist away from the kiss of venom. Hem your wrist with your last good memory. I'll sand some olive branches and attach its broken gavel to my wallet. Lead sentences and feathers, blisters and repentance. Swords in the pipeline, find what's left, remembrance that keeps a full stock of butane, match wits. Strike them with our names. This rubber house sits on a drunken axis. Stiff jackets and the gift that kills romantics. I'm playing your antagonist. Perhaps it's a relapse of stigmata. These ulcers make those sugar plums. Some stern elders stained glass. Bottomless morning bombs. Calm faith might not escape on invalids. Hail Mary. Bury the mitre planes. Fire the riot squad. Godspeed. Devil in my suitcase to waste all my inventions on non-profit agencies. Don't blame me, I can only blame myself. Throw opportunities at clocks and put a hex on knocks. Destined to be 40 with only one root of evil in the shoebox. Chase sleepless problems that I always solve at a complacent pace. At a complacent pace. I wish tomorrow was a hollow anvil. Wisdom was killed by compulsive habits. So here's to a new pill, while addicts' addictions worsen. I wish tomorrow was a hollow anvil. Wisdom was killed by compulsive habits. So here's to a new pill, while addicts' addictions worsen. swallowed by a chessboard, little pawn shop. Sherlock knocks on walls with coke bottle microscopes, trying to find a hollow space where hope wrote a suicide letter. There's a small bit of evidence in all of us. 5 stop signs and a speaker leak with drunk speech. Chalkboard testimonials for teacher. Convent of Betty Page with instincts of a thief. I'm just a bad Christian who listens to leopard train tracks back at the helm with a mission. I need to keep 3 days risen. 2 foster parents only allow me to listen to the radio hanging on aerosol fumes. But if you ask me, the latchkey is lonely, stuck in a tattoo parlor. Thankful I don't have regret. My cityscape silhouette left a closed pin in my neck. Swallow the scarlet Charlotte's web. It's a shallow bed with a head full of carcass lights. Chalk skeletons decorate pinball machine ice. The Columbia River can't heal me. The outfield will kill me on tape. I wish tomorrow was a hollow anvil. Wisdom was killed by compulsive habits. So here's to a new pill while addicts' addictions worsen.
79th. Hey man, better straighten up. You gonna be alright? I don't know. It's a long walk to Harborview in a pair of wet shoes, let alone a kneecap with a GSW. See this rubber room, you're gonna do good here. Look back, say goodbye, kiss the sky. Nobody ever severs ties, separates whenever life turns into wild shit. This is good as it gets. Yes, it is. I bet it is. Short trip to the corner store and a free ride downtown. If I decide to wild out, I need to see a doctor for a prescription for a bourbon dip shit. Xanax is my favorite palindrome. I'm dialing home, are you Castro? I'm trying to get well. What you need? Shit, I don't know. Whatever. Stop off at the shelter high and adopt a calico. That's where I'm about to go. Worst rapper alive, best rapper dead. I'm about it, bro. I'm about to explode. Maybe not. Yeah, fuck it. I doubt it though. Please do not attempt to contact me. I'm gonna need to take some time. Please do not attempt to contact me. I'm gonna need to take some time.
Chicks with sailor tattoos rock. They watch banquet murders on Starry Boulevard. Junk rock shoegazer, Atari scarred newspapers. This time we're waiting on the cocaine pads. Drag knuckle aftermath, bloodbath hearsay. Fuck if they care anyway. Stay champagne, make sure to keep the trunk closed. Drunk posed angels in the doorways. Save grace, brave face. Problematic, tragic Midwest stepping on Hollywood sunsets. Hail the shit vest and another fucking anxiety attack attached to the treasure chest. Best not to ask. Task force parade. Explain basement to tourists. Slurred wrist. Is that as good as it gets?
Better believe that slick.
Refund expired, tire daggers, matter of facts, rack the attic with alibi practice. Static of helplessness. Murder City Midnight.
These idle hands, they do the devil's work. These idle hands, they do a whole lot worse.
And they do. Suckers. End of the story. Greeting cards for the pale horse often line up on the chopping block. We're all auctioned off. Micah falls asleep at the bottom of Gotham. Gets baptized by searchlights. Termites dying on the wood chest. Blessed are his little children. I lock with too many horns, I need to be born again. Praying the thorn fields and tuck the cross in. Lost in a parade of fangs, the noose hangs in the balance. Our worthless talents or dissident candidates. Speech the new date, rape someday. You will hate like I hate. When graves become roommates, there were no gates made of voices built on floating white quilts. Only blankets, divine gifts, and smothered guilt. Still we drift away and put breathing death goat heads on 10 chalkboards. I knew it then, you can't rebuild a ruined emotion. Birth the first Siamese twin, love and hate. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I don't know the pawn shop, seems the most popular name these days is Patsy. I stick knives behind doors, what's the difference of being vindictive? I'll be submissive to the mutilation. Why your skin is now my wallpaper, a mile in your ribs would be a dyslexic anvil. There was still frostbite on my fingertips, time difference matadora. Red licorice in the gourd and black licorice in the chest, twist together to form drunk clocks. They call me the Pope of Jonestown. The microscope's also sleeping your bones now. 7 Jurassic calendars to resent a runaway Lee Harvey Oswald, indulge in helium numb compliments. You're beautiful when you show your hostile smile. Keep the veil on, Medusa. I'll use a detective letter opener to look inside the contents of my throat envelope. I put pins in your hole, go consult with the deserted Pontius Pilates and seduce the queen bee in a bottle of sour sweet pea. Repeat tsunami sea change. Weak darling after realizing retribution ends never, it ends never. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. I hate myself and wanna die, oh the guilt. So I got these emotional investments. This chick I got says it's really over. If I think about it too much, I might go fucking crazy. Dangling subscriptions in front of ultimatums, numb kisses goodbye, the broken dishes hiss at us. Lie down and get tangled in blankets to thank us for the blood and semen. I'm reaping what I sowed. You tell me of old friends with your cherry ass pressed against cold glass, betting desirous pagan ritual shout at the mating choir you created. Everyone's past is sacred. I breathe in dust, I must truly be blessed with this miracle here and still. My angel with my blasphemous name carved on her chest, seems I'm holding your sunset hostage. Bliss turned to bruises. My tongue is a dirty syringe that's pinned to your heart with prostitutes on its breath. The straight jacket is coming right on the iron scalpel. The dictionary is dying, crumbling on itself. The ruins now dwell in my throat, drowning to sorrow. My lifeboat used you as my anchor of hope. Float me on a single cloud 9 times. No shrouded secrecy. We secretly kidnapped destiny and left no ransom. Handsome monster, wicked siren, making Nirvana out of a deserted island. Cold feet, cold glass, drowsy medication. It's the game of say winner. Who's not going to stay then? This has been the Valentine of Satan. Cold feet, cold glass, drowsy medication. It's a game of say winner. Who's not going to stay then? This has been the Valentine of Satan. I'll provide malice in my Alice's Wonderland. Skin indented with criminal intent. Spent conscience on reference numbers and nights in warm slumber. As a burned coffin, nail storm swarm, solitary confinement. My design meant little to anti-bandage enthusiasts. I'm still new at this, building a heart-shaped universe out of toothpicks. Turn risks into indentured servants until it gets too comfortable becoming an anarchist. Uniting the last 2 letters of the alphabet. Force sleep into a clenched fist. Drift on wood down honey rivers that turn to urine. Once I'm certain, be stung birds enough to close the curtain. Leave too much of my luggage on welcome ounce of others' burden. Downstairs Casanova, upstairs Ted Bundy. Let's throw out evictions. Hope Christ and Gandhi move in once they learn of our current conditions. Until then. I'm not dissing. Okay. I'm gonna need a third track after saying. This was originally supposed to be on a Dimmock song, but I don't think that song's gonna see the light of day, so enjoy yourselves. A new Gemini killer. Genocide of Valentines, my insides need to be replaced with rosaries. The times I walked alone, Judas carried me. cantatonic, I'm dressed as a Jesuit, running through the deceased streets, holding blood petal roses, focus on exercise. These inscriptions Moses wouldn't carry. Another nightmare circus, scar tissue tense, bleeding with satanic verses. So we'll kidnap amnesia, cluttered perfume bottles, seize the moment to think a little louder. What power must be in the hands of escape artists? This narcissist wears a broken wishbone. This failure narcissist has a cookie jar habit, jagged fist kisses. My oil promises, your water wishes. These broken dolls, these walls swallowed our hospital. This must be the Bates Motel.
No, I'm Norman.
Which skeleton should I listen to? Season of the sauna, crab apples of wrath and love trauma. Sink monster in blue, smile bathwater. I've been wasting time. Don't give me credit for what I'm supposed to do. It's just a matter of time, just a matter of crime, just a matter of blame for what they can't get away with. I've been wasting time. Don't give me credit for what I'm supposed to do. It's just a matter of time, just a matter of crime, just a matter of blame for what they can't get away with.
We at the Fuqua High. Remember last night? No, I'm pulling it together. Pour me another. Your simple ripple swigger, purple up in a swisher, orange limo trigger, finger in a stripper. Another boring night concedes the morning light. And if I have my druthers, pour me another. First pack of cigarettes, ain't hit the jackpot yet. Call no place home so I can't feel homesick. I'm trying to sharpen up, it might just take some drugs. Nothing, another brother, pour me another. Found the money that I lost last night. Looks like everything gonna be alright. TV, dinner, microwave, it's time to celebrate. I'm fucking losing control, it tastes great. Might get a square job and pay my debts off, but right now I'm buggered, pour me another. Yeah, that's the ticket. You ain't got a lighter, I'm tripping.
That's right. Your eyeliner is sweating, wetting of thorns is torn through our cheeks. Forgetting the bloodletting only speaks to children. Kiss the insulin shock, knock down our ship at the bottom. Dance in the glass rain that throats on jagged window panes. Sail away choking on the Red Sea. Look towards the Mars Volta and it gave this to me. For you to cross, stitch on your hush. If you only knew the plans we had for us. Now I'm lost, tossed a disconnected phone in your closet and swallowed it. Try and prove being alone isn't complicated. Wasted engagement rings on dead air. Caress the carelessness by breathing compasses. Dump the ashes all over our burning mattresses when the dust crashes into us. You know me better than mirrors. Cursed stork with a fork in its tongue. He can dine on birth defects he brought us. Detected above the belly. Tell me why dry veins won't ease Rose diary to revive live wires. Fire in the chamber. Anger tucks us in on top of a fence with dangling shins. Still a sentiment stumbles, drugged and tumbled in its own throat. We rewrote that house of poems and victims, tip them over and bite shoulders now, which provides relief from the humidity, a ministry of tangibility built from air. We don't even share it with ourselves or with each other. Exhale during an avalanche, cocaine storm. Igloo is dropping mercury while we piss on ourselves to keep warm. Exhale during an avalanche, cocaine storm. Igloo is dropping mercury while we piss on ourselves to keep warm. Seems I'm only passionate in a rabid accident, leaving my amber bassinet drowning in a jade barbed wire net. No sunset in the amphitheater, only a lonely spotlight that catches your lip ring just right. Sequin weekend girls, pearls melt into abortions. Diamonds climb the Himalayas and erupt in syringe prayers. Decayed words overdosing on Lazarus aspirations. I'm daydreaming of aspirin, you're shooting booze in your neck, faded wet with caramel. Spill inflated lungs on the tongue of destiny. Is it rescuing us in handcuffs or abducting us separately? We met each other in an arcade for the thesaurus addicts. Practice making magnets have sex with opposite polarity. I rarely see your eyes not thinking about Amherst. You barely see my hearse ride off into summer as you catch thunder and curse me. It's not over, it will never be. Could be Caligula for two, or bourbon and tea. Smoke during the riots, swallowing broken porcelain, exchanging each other's cuts. If we don't finish the screenplay, we have balloons full of the afternoon. The epitaphs are hiding in the branches. I'm glued to your hot flashes until the sparrows turn into molasses. Two cross out the one equals. It equals. Exhale during an avalanche, cocaine storm. Igloo is dropping mercury while we piss on ourselves to keep warm. Exhale during an avalanche, cocaine storm. Igloo is dropping mercury while we piss on ourselves to keep warm. On my hands, blush at the hands that blush sin. Rush to hush 10 lines of fine print. The entitlement of this beneficiary, necessary to sleep with statements that drown in opaque blankets. I bet your last name is Christian, my last name is Crimson. I'm sipping on amnesia. We might meet 2 more times before crimes I've committed will be sitting on the book written by St. Peter. I don't need another reason to walk down the spiral staircase. When I see your face, I will apologize. Disgrace feels gray. I don't pay enough attention. You mentioned in the morning there'll be no more stars, only vanilla pillows. Still those pieces of Dante's Inferno burn slowly enough to hide it and swim in the jaws that tighten with each question. Another night here in Las Vegas just saved us, but my shadow was growing restless, and I fear I might become another apprentice. Antithesis of careless causes air to collapse. The march may come. 2 bad months, once upon a time maybe. Now I'll be the one draped in dead senses. Heavy daylight, paranoid midnight, hard to shake like nostalgia, reminisce like a grudge. Zion malice break through the attic. I'm a crook playwright. Might be some bathing books I'll take in the twilight. Opposite direction of the last perspective. I'll glue my hands together. Better now than never. Better now than never. A nightmare feels better when it's really happening. 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 This final solution would have it. This water casket's a comfortable seat. Sleepwalk with a rusty ox that pulls me by the wrist. A scratch that stretches south is a crimson grin in my daydreams. We always talk about a small escape route. A small bout with panic that turns warm and lucid. Let eyelids sink and numb. Drown with demons, swimming with nuns. Pints of red wine to celebrate this new baptism. Sarcastic mourners will view the limb branches, horrified by the consequences of a subdued telephone. Become newborn cynics alone to deal with the gnaws of endless jaws on their skulls. Guilt puppets emphasize selfish, wounds emphasize selfless. Blood faucet run dry. Blood faucet run dry. A nightmare feels better when it's really happening. A nightmare feels better when it's really happening. A nightmare feels better when it's really happening. A nightmare feels better when it's really happening.
enough to get to the curb. The phone still rings. These are the least of my favorite things. Gun in my mouth again. No audience to admire my theatrics. I deserve this hardware. I'm the world's greatest actress. You like me? You really like me? Yeah. You get it. It's a fucking long way back to shore. You get it. Row your boat down the fucking line. No, you roll. Know your fucking line. Row your boat down the fucking line. No, you roll. Know your fucking lines.
She says she's bound, and the sky will be burned. A new loveless sound is all that she heard. She'll sigh a car crash and dial the saints. Door never thinks to ask and smiles in red tape. Days turn to still, and her lips are a curse. My skull turns ill, and wait with her first. Guns in the wind, hello in her eyes. Apologetic sin as with bullets in the night. In the rooms and through the hallways, my walls are infested with paper dolls, glossy cases of faces I'll never meet, I've never heard or seen before. Walk with a broken jaw. Uncommon collections, some binoculars see as obsession. A golden rule, don't vandalize the cage of intention by carving these transgressions over the lesson that says never force the issue. Drenched in skin tone latex, vision set in proper direction, exactly how Eden was supposed to be. And Lady Hawk worries about an infection under the hood, acting out bad drugs or corroding the oldest book. I haven't bought the thought behind it, but the ransom note might not have come yet. Place bet on roulette tables by choosing good or evil. Centerfold wives complete with beehives and coke bottle poses. From roots to rose petals, metal in open spaces through insidious flashes, dripping thick molasses, collecting freezers with paperback bindings. A right future is hard to find, matter over mind, grind steady. How many more can fit in my house of cards? Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. A figure made of toothpicks with a broken liquor bottle in my cage translates to cancer drenched in wet peaches serenade. Parade of Wolverines on my sunset, the nun's dead clinging to a rosary. I would punish the universe just to have you notice me. Seems I'm too translucent, and I knew that from Genesis. Keyhole in my throat, and I still can't unlock my sentences. Forgiveness is my hope, redemption is my drive. I try to cope, yet I know the road might come alive. The slope is open wide, full of the obscene. I'm trying to stop the domino, but it just keeps following. Space is isolation, a think tank, a way to tame the beast, or the precursor before you die in your sleep. No time to reason with the barcode, the road is only one way, table utensils are only obstacles. And the word hello is just a political thing to say. You're a light bulb on fire, I may never be your equal. Space is isolation, a think tank, a way to tame the beast, or a precursor before you die in your sleep. Before you die in your sleep. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. Ride of a lifetime, red radio flyer died. Back to the drawing board. That's the nature of fiction. See now, wedding composition placed on middle fingers. Fatal cat in the cradle never seems able to linger in front of a razor pendulum. Sent you some shadows, the blanket turns warm, but even that turns into a swarm of canker sores. Keep our star-spangled banner in a locked drawer. It's only weaponry of memory and tragedy. Insults catapult our bolt of broken phone lines. In the clear night sky, pipe bomb colors, 96 hours into July. No anthropologist would come near my neighborhood, which stands on slants, attic dictionaries, merry detours. My fear is the attack of one square will barely share with me inherit cracked black plastic. The herd will ask for another diplomat. World feels flat, and that in itself should be a welcome mat made of Vicodin. This monster was created by Geppetto, leaving saints widows by leaving willows dipped in rigor mortis under the pillows. Suspicious acts of vandalism through fictitious thoughts. Change in the house of lives, a strange detail. Optimism is for sale, and hail the burnt ashes near heaven. Home on the range is deranged and full of 29 skeletons, bruised mascara, dementia, love taps. Contact limbs are trapped and executed by meat cleavers. I made you a non-believer, leave no chip for this last supper. Your throat suffers from arthritis because of 10 tree stumps. Act now, later think rational. State of the union has fallen in a downward spiral. Final chapter of many, steady decline. Line is thin, find the blackout. Find the blackout, find the blackout. Find the blackout, find the blackout. Tides rust, stuck in the middle of your battered symphony, and the killing fields I wish would yield a little, swallowed by good intentions. Earaches wake up to the sound of fading suitcases. A patch of black ice is all it takes to make a tornado room, while paper has been torn down. What now? The sacred cow has been carved. Marvel at the flood, plug the gun barrel, but it will still cough. Can't turn off precious gifts such as this. A fistful of lynched music boxes. Deposit what you can in emotion and open the blinds to madness. Paint a white picket fence on a rotting canvas of nails. Seashell skull that pulls your body language for the life of me. Use a dull knife, it's more sadistic that way. I'll pay for the emission, a boxing hyena. I'd seen the deja vu in you. True lies are my footprints. Wasn't all perjury. The certainty of 14 candles in February remains. So does the pain of knowing cleverness never befriended me. The meat is growing, sunset plummets to its death. I rest on guilt-built mind right on the crane. Stained frame crime scene means nothing in the bigger picture. I was wrong, and now I'm on a new path to Helicon. Act now, later think rational. State of the union has fallen in a downward spiral. Final chapter of many, steady decline. Line is thin, find the blackout. Find the blackout, find the blackout, find the blackout. Blackout. Had the blackout. Unable to think and speechless, I reach this point through a festering growth, the heart of the prison cell. Telling the victim you can keep the rare paintings. Shuffling 3 coconuts for 12 months. I want the handcuffs to remain attached, so when the Catholics attack on an Inquisition campaign, I'll already be reincarnated as Novocaine. I'm a name raining down murdered promises, staining your white dress. Red lights and city hotels gain appeal, creating lack of evidence to arrest my excess. If the flying troll escapes, duct tape the bridge of our vision. 2020 to 50-50, empty on all fronts, except the blame that runs heavy in the streams of blue rivers. Heavy in the streams of blue rivers. So there you go. It's like, that was just the part I was talking about. So like, were you just like talking like Soviet missiles and everybody, good things with the phone decor and like the credit card trails and shit, like with the weather wars and all that stuff. Key values, fuck that crazy. I don't know how 99 cents per square credible or anything else. Yeah, whatever. Life. Open letter with no better part. Started the recap. I'll start with a relapse, collapse belief. My camera is too obvious when it's just us and innocent bystanders. Watch from the bleachers as we argue upon joint custody of generosity and slander. White picket fence can't prevent dense fog, only a New Orleans answer. That's what happens when you invest in scratch tickets, picket lines, parking fines. Live by the motto, new clocks are inevitable. Unlisted credible witness, drawbridge, raw itch that will never quite heal. Peel back your chest and reveal a music box with locks picked by broken mirrors. Return to clearer eye levels, bury bones, I'll provide the shovels. Throw away vanity plates, but everything is in its right place. You are my sanity. And it just goes there you go. It's like possible. I'm really impressing core audience about 15. Yes, I was talking about that before. Like, yeah, you may say 15,000. 15 million? No, 15. Transistor radios with some kind of biological electromagnetic warfare, perseverance type stuff with grids in the sky and shit. So like when you see those clouds moving, it's like actually like square grids, like with the contrails and everything. Subliminal hit list for subliminal time, I guess. Hey, look at me, I'm an asshole.
I'll write it straight in the face. Well, aren't you as cute as a moonlit stray? I'm sorry, I don't have anything that's sad to say. Feel free to cry anyway. We should skip the introductions, find a corner to paint ourselves into. Come from money, you see much of the world. Yeah, she knows she loved me. I kiss like a girl. I'm raccoon shady, pigeon crazy. 78 Dodge Dart, you're the tattooed girl of my opium dreams. My new fetish is chicks without tattoos. Ain't you as cute as a toy gun? Can't believe I fell for the kiss makeup. Can't wait till our first fight. so we can kiss and make up. I think I can hold my breath till Saturday night, or the check clears. Check, whatever, yeah, it's worth the wait. I'll be right here, and I'll be right here, waiting on my ears to ring. And I'll be right here, waiting on my ears to ring. Yeah, I wish they made it in a concentrated formula so I could just get there quicker. I know which side my bread's buttered on. It's me and her versus burnt out and bitter. Burnt out and bitter.
Another bruise on the shears, lavender kisses for evil machines, strings on the crescent's disease, trapped in a skin where the closets bleed, our hands gray in bondage, our cathedrals lay down to sleep. It's carnival and sticky, empty corsets while the nuns misbehave. She drove the mistake in her home, and no one is saved. As you broken clouds, glass honey's easy to tame. Last insane angel in the voluptuous ray. Last insane angel in a voluptuous ray. Settled in flesh petals, metal in your scrapbook. If you're the whore, I'm the crook. Swallow the hook, your words assured me, hurt me with scalpels. And when looking, I drew a full chapel. Yet the creep seeps in and begins to talk with the dying, scream in an empty suitcase. Where you going now? Move down. Space is limited, only intimate when both doors are locked. Guns cocked with rash. Dance to the house of the other 22 hours. Now or never. Damn hat is the same one that would trap me in a body bag away from you. Your presence is causing my hands to bottom out, doubting a clueless pre-afternoon. Red skyline on the black canvas. Scoot over, my little darling. Can't have boots without the spurs, sure fit, we're both sick. But I would still lick your basket, mask in a Ballantine. Align myself, grinding on the stone. I think too much about previous works, even when I know it burns you. You wore a wetsuit, they never shoot blanks. I feel like a prank in a box, it's not worth the amusement. It's proven in every comedic smile you let loose to make the noose tighter. It's always at night, her. It could have been any girl, it could have been any girl. Sat her down to write her a letter, but I wrote this song instead. It could have been any girl, it could have been any girl. Sat her down to write her a letter, but I wrote this song instead. You're on display where the pedestal lays, suffocating, playing with your skull while you pull my string. Sweet sting of your lip grips me. I would waste both sides of my face to help you stay intrigued. We need a pamphlet and let it write itself. Targets below shin, I wanna swim in your wet skin. Forgive me for possessive luggage, I don't budge. You don't give an inch, stitch this vision and we'll sit in the lining. I wrote timing because we are infinite. Keep you stray for the phrase of oblivion. Dipped in cinnamon, the lights are dim again. Inside out, will the drought thicken? It's all a matter of position. My intuition is never written of your past employees. But I won't listen to the orgies anymore. Store me in a bundle of peaches until it reaches its right state of solace. I noticed you first, you focus first. Hearse is broken down on the shoulder. it's only us. No matter how many intruders crash bubbles, I stumble, you catch farewell on opposite ends. Friends turn compulsive liaisons. The day will blaze on. We're all playing with knives. It could have been any girl. It could have been any girl. Sat her down to write her a letter, but I wrote this song instead. It could have been any girl. It could have been any girl. Sat her down to write her a letter, but I wrote this song instead.